What's it like being a teacher in a pandemic? Hard. Sometimes it's just horrible. It's horrible. Keep moving. Something about these pants. Just a second. That's better. In a couple of days, we'll have to go back to school. Pandemic teachers, how y'all doing? I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I don't want to. This week went by so quick. Don't get me wrong, I love my babies. I do. I love them dearly. But this 2 weeks went by so quick. We're going to talk about 10 ways that being a teacher now is different from a year ago. Before 2020. Before the wreck. 1. Kids that come in and out of the classroom the whole entire year. Like, as a regular teacher, you're used to having at least 1 or 2 kids, trickle into your classroom. But you can have a couple of kids come in each quarter. Because a parent has a choice to change their decision each quarter of the year. So, you can have kids come in at least 4 different times of the year. And not just 1, you may have a couple. And that changes the whole dynamic of the classroom. First of all, our year started off great. We had just, we had like 4 kids. I think we had 4 kids in our classroom. And it was great. Our kids were mellow. They were cool. It was laid back. Chilling. Quarter 2 came. They introduced us to some more kiddos. Lovely babies. So sweet. So lovable. But it changed the dynamic of our classroom. Sometimes, if I'm being honest, we are praying that those kids stay online. 2, I would have to say, is the distance. This one is harder because as a teacher, one of the main things you like about teaching is that connection that you can have with the kids. Well, that's kind of broken during COVID. We're not supposed to touch each other. That means that there needs to be some space in between us. They have these nice big, plastic boards in between us to protect us. But it's also a divider between us and our kids. I remember when they first stuck it up, I'm like, this ain't gonna work. I feel like I'm in prison. Like, feel like my kids, like I'm telling them to stay away from me, I kind of am, because, kids be sneezing, damn boogers. After that part, after you start seeing that, you kind of get used to the little board. You're like, hey, stay over there. Stay on your side of the plastic, serious side. It is a divider. It is definitely a divider. I have a problem telling my kids, no, I can't hug you. They will come up to you and try to hug you. And sometimes you have to tell them, no, we can't hug. Let's air five it out. You're okay. But sometimes, as a teacher, with the heart that you have, you as a comforter, you're also, you're human. And these kids need these hugs sometimes. They need the affection. So sometimes you have to take that risk. And sometimes you do want to hug them back. We have to teach kids both in person and online. We have our kids in our desk and we have a camera that sits in front of us. camera, get it? We'll project the kids online onto a board so that the kids in class could also see them and they feel like they are together. Sometimes we'll turn the camera around so the kids online can see the kids in our classroom, but mainly the camera is on us. So when we're teaching, we have to remember not just to teach to the kids in class, but we also have to make sure that we're teaching to the kids that are online. And we have to make sure those kids online are paying attention while we're making sure the kids in class are paying attention. Okay, so on this specific day, it was my turn to teach. Guys, I tried my best not to laugh and just pretend like everything that was going on behind the camera was going great. But it was a zoo. I'm teaching, I'm standing up in front of the classroom, and my co-teacher is chasing the kids around the classroom trying to get them to sit in their seats. Well, the look on the face of my co-teacher and the look on the face of the kids was so opposite that it had me trying to hold in my laugh. The kids that were running around the classroom were laughing and they have dinosaurs and they're playing. The other kids are sitting in their desks, they're trying to pay attention, but the kids that are running around with the dinosaurs are taking their attention. And the co-teacher is trying to do this silently, and it just wasn't working. It just wasn't working. Just trying to make sure that the kids online are getting what they're supposed to learn, because truth is, everything that you're teaching is being recorded, and for those kids who don't show up, they go back and they watch those videos. And if we're constantly stopping the class and trying to make sure that the class is doing what they're supposed to be doing, they're not really getting that accurate learning. We're already not able to pull them and go deeper inside of what they need to know. So we have to make sure the videos that we give them are quality, and it only lasts for so long anyways. Because we have to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing and taking care of the kids at home and not forgetting about them, we also have to keep up with a contact log. We also have to keep up with their assignments. This is hard because sometimes these kids ain't turning nothing in. The parents aren't assisting them, and that's a problem. How are we supposed to know what they know? How are we supposed to help them in the area where they don't know what they don't know? Some of these poor parents are trying to work while they are taking care of their babies, or they have their kids, and the other kids are in school too, so the struggle is real. I know these parents don't want to send their kids to school because they don't want the kids to catch it, which I totally understand. If we could stay home, we probably would too. But there's a benefit to having your kids in school because they have more of a focus ability, and there's nothing distracting them as much as it will be at home. Well, other than the other kids in the classroom. But for the most part, teachers are able to channel them in a way that will have them focus more than they would be able to focus in their house, at the dining room table, in the backyard. So we've experienced. It's been that type of year. Class, repeat after me. A, ah. Look at my mouth. Look at my mouth. A, ah. Also, little Johnny doesn't want to wear a mask. Little Johnny is going to take his mask off 25 times a day. Put your mask back on. Little Johnny, remember, we can't spread our germs. Get out of Kobe's face. No sharing. We are taught to teach our kids to share. No, Johnny. No sharing. What are we teaching them? Get away from little Tommy. You may not get in his face. You guys can't touch. One of you air 5. What is this next generation going to look like? COVID sucks. Big time. We need to be able to teach that it's okay that you touch, but during this time of the year, we have to be more careful. We are pushed to be more creative. You are challenged to be an online teacher in a general education classroom. You're basically prepared to teach overseas. We should have certificates to be able to teach overseas. I have learned to turn into characters to keep these babies' attention. Their attention span is the size of a pea. And you ain't gonna hold it that long. So you better get creative in some way, type, or fashion, because the TV screen that's sitting in front of them is definitely more interesting than what you have to say. I would say that I do enjoy the smaller classes. Number 9. Number 9 is probably my favorite. We do get to build better relationships with parents. I think I have had more contact with parents than I have ever had in my years of teaching. We get to know more about what the kids are going through at home and what the parents are going through at home. And sometimes they need that support. They need someone to actually talk to. And I've been able to talk to my parents as they go through some stuff, some hard stuff that most of the time as a teacher, you don't know that they're going through. So that's been a touching part, and being able to help parents actually teach their kids. Parents, you are actually supposed to teach your kids. Yes, as a teacher, it's our job, but you are supposed to back that up and teach them at home. Just throwing that out there. We are thankful for the parents who are stepping in and taking care of their kids the best that they can at home. Kudos to you. We know it's not easy. Thank you so much for being able to help your kids become better humans as well as better learners. You guys are doing a great job. Don't stop. We're gonna get through this pandemic. The last thing I'd have to say would be COVID-19 emails. Everyone is dealing with this specific issue. When that email comes in that someone on your campus has caught COVID-19, your first thought is, okay, who was it? What are we gonna do about it? What steps are we taking? Are we gonna go home? Do I need to do something different? Most of the time, they don't tell you who caught COVID-19 on campus. They just tell you that you were not a close contact. So if you're not a close contact, you don't need to know who caught COVID-19. How do you know I wasn't a close contact? Maybe I passed this person in the hallway. I could have went in somewhere after they went in. So we just don't know, y'all. We just don't know. And now after a while, you receive so many of the emails, you kind of get used to the emails. There's nothing really much you can do but pray that nothing happens. Yeah, that's always in the back of your head. But as a teacher, just loving your job, period, you kind of get past it, but the thought is always there. That's 10 things, guys, that is different being a teacher now than it is back then, back when. Yeah. We are making history. Whatever profession you in, you are making history. This is just what it's like in the life of a teacher. I'm sure everyone has their different experiences during this pandemic time. But if you are a pandemic teacher, congratulations. You're awesome. We're proud of you. I'm proud of me. Hang in there, guys. Spring break is about 3 more months. And after that, we're gonna count down to summer. Thank you guys for watching my channel. I hope you subscribe and see you next time. Peace.